All right, but in the meantime, folks, we're going to take a look at, if I can get Amzi out of my way, at the NASA launch.
Parting a load on Crew Dragon as it prepares to lift off.
Dragon is in configure for terminal count. Dragon is on internal tower. Falcon 9 propellant tanks are pressurized.
Above the gaseous oxygen vapors coming out of the second stage, those arms will open up, and then just inside of T-minus 4 minutes, once the arms are released, we'll begin to retract the strong back alongside the vehicle. It'll move back 2 degrees.
Another launch for NASA, yeah, fingers crossed.
About T-minus 3.5 minutes, we ought to be finished with that. The strong back will retract.
All right, folks, while that's going off, I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be back in just a couple seconds, so hang out. Thank you guys for being here. Hopefully, fingers crossed on this. Everybody enjoy.
And at T-minus 3 minutes, we'll...
Right now, we're waiting for the retract. And there you can see the strong back is beginning to move away from the vehicle. Looks like we are just about into the required pre-launch position, just a couple of degrees away from the Falcon 9 and the Dragon capsule. But right now, T-minus 3 minutes, 8 seconds, everything continues to be go on Dragon and Falcon 9.
Currently standing...
Dragon is in terminal count.
Dragon is in terminal count, and we are standing by to hear that Stage 1 liquid oxygen loading is complete. Stage
1 LOX load is complete.
And there we have it, and Stage 2 should finish shortly after, at about 2 minutes prior to liftoff.
So now, the last major event is finished liquid oxygen loading on Stage 2. It wraps up at about T-minus 2 minutes. Then at about T-minus a minute and a half, we have to drain back and vent down the liquid line that goes up the strong back alongside the Falcon 9. If you see a large white cloud about midway down around the rocket, that's normal. That's, again, just the gaseous oxygen hitting the warm, moist Florida air.
All right, inside 2 minutes.
Dragon is in auto idle.
And good calls that Stage 2 liquid oxygen load is complete. That means we have full fuel. She said the vehicle is alive.
Shell is going to Navy Pier.
In 10 seconds, we'll look to hear that Dragon is in countdown.
Hope it goes further than that, Scott.
And Falcon 9 is in startup.
Vic says, I've never seen a live launch before. Wow. Neither is Bald. Okay.
Dragon is in countdown. FDS is armed. Falcon 9 is in startup and is now controlling.
50 seconds now until liftoff. That FTS you heard is flight termination.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX, this is Resilient. Roger, go.
Go for launch, and at 37 seconds, the International Space Station flying over Kennedy Space Center.
All for one, Crew 1 for all.
Crew Dragon poised to go catch it. "20 seconds till liftoff.
T-minus 15 seconds. Falcon 9 is configured for flight. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Doing it.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all.
M1E propulsion is nominal.
That's the word we want to hear. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
As 30 seconds into this historic mission, flying crew on board
Dragon and Falcon 9. Stage 1 is preparing to throttle down. This is in preparation for max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Stage 1, throttle down.
There's that call out for throttle down.
Power and telemetry continue to be nominal for the vehicle, now traveling at 262 meters per second.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
There's that call out. The Falcon 9 is supersonic, and we will be passing through max Q here shortly, the largest structural load during ascent.
Max Q.
And there's that call out. That Falcon has passed through.
Clap to
max
make it to
Q.
the International Space Station.
And we've
Yeah.
just entered Stage 1 Bravo abort mode. That's going to take them through the end of the first stage burning just before second stage activates off the coast of North Carolina.
Go, Dragon, go. Go, go, go.
T plus 1 minute and 40 seconds into flight. Dragon and Falcon 9 traveling 709 meters per second. That call that MVAC chill is underway, the Merlin vacuum engine.
Now with the call out of MVAC-D chillin, similar to what we saw in the first stage Merlin engines, the second stage engine being prepared for its ignition coming up in just over 30 seconds from now. We're a half a minute away from 3 quick events in rapid succession. We're going to get main engine cutoff. The
50
9
kilometers
engines will
plus.
throttle down and then shut down. We're going to get stage separation
Stage 1, throttle down.
and then ignition of the second stage engine. We've begun the throttle down in preparation for stage separation.
Looking good.
And we have
2 Alpha.
Stage separation confirmed.
Woohoo!
And you see that stage separation has confirmed. There goes that MVAC engine. Stage 2. Crew-1 is now on their way to the International Space Station. On the right side of your screen, you see
far, so
Stage
good.
2 continuing to burn. Over on the left-hand side is Stage 1.
Vic says,
preparing
imagine
for its
sitting in the
return to
spaceship
Earth.
going 7,000 kmh. Yeah.
Currently on the left side, you can't make out much. It's a couple hours after sunset in Florida, but the grid fins have deployed on the first stage. The first stage is now unpowered. but
Yeah, you
with
can't
the
really
velocity
appreciate
it
how
has,
fast
it
they're really
continues to
going.
coast up to an apogee
I mean, escape
before it
velocity,
begins
and
to
what do these
descend
things
back
do? They're
into
like,
Earth's atmosphere. Now, as we watch, maybe we'll see the lights of Florida or
something
the
like
eastern
14,000
seaboard in the
miles per
background,
hour,
but
whatever
otherwise,
that
there's not
looks
going
like
to
to
be
be.
much to see. On the right-hand side,
Mach, like Mach, I don't know. I forget the number. It's something
hear the call
insane,
out.
like Mach 21 or
Trajectory is
something.
nominal.
Nominal trajectory.
And we've heard call out Bermuda. That means Bermuda Ground Station has the signals from the second stage of the Dragon and Falcon 9.
Now, the thing cool that SpaceX does is
We're still continuing as
they keep
Stage
costs
2
down by having
goes to
reusable
listen
components, so
for
that
those
the booster that
abort
they
zones.
just separated
We're now in
from
2A through 2E to
will
the
automatically
mode,
land.
taking
It'll
us
land
over
itself
the
back on
northern
Earth, usually on
Atlantic.
a barge at sea. It just robotically, it'll just land
Now you can
itself.
see the second stage engine glowing with the standard red that we have come to see over all these missions. Indicates
Sorry,
everything's
dudes,
looking
my
good. Power
big
on
head
the
is
MVAC engine
blocking the
continues to
main
run at
telemetry. Let me see if I can fix
220,000
that.
pounds of thrust in the vacuum of outer space.
Dragon SpaceX trajectory nominal.
I can't. Just realized why I can't fix
Trajectory
it.
nominal.
Never mind.
Trajectory.
We hear the reply from the crew acknowledging we have a nominal trajectory. Dragon made it to the Falcon 9 second stage, heading into the low Earth
How long are they going to be in
where
space for? I'm
Dragon
not
will
sure.
separate and
Well,
begin
I don't know how long their
the
mission
rest of the
is.
way to the space station.
When they did the first manned launch in
We'll be
July,
looking for Seco.
they
Second
were
stage
on the
engine
space
cutoff
station for
coming
about
up at
2 or 3
8 minutes
days, and then they
48
came back to
seconds
Earth.
After launch today, so about 3.5 minutes from now.
So technically,
Dragon and Falcon 9.
they call this the
Second
Crew-1
stage
launch.
currently flying 2,979
Because this is the first set of
meters
NASA
per second.
astronauts to ride the Crew Dragon into space. But
Currently,
technically,
the first stage
2 astronauts
has begun
rode
its
this into
descent. It's
space
through apogee,
in July
beginning to
as
come
the
back
first
down,
manned launch on
where
this
it,
vehicle. But technically, they
coming
were
up in another
SpaceX
couple of
employees.
minutes, we will have the entry
So that
burn,
was considered a
begin to
demo
slow
mission.
down the first stage.
And this one is considered the first official NASA crew mission.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
And hello, Louis Ferrier. Welcome back. How you doing?
Nominal trajectory, just what we love to hear.
How you doing,
You're
Louis?
hearing onboard Dragon. That's Commander.
Sorry,
Mark
I'm
Hawkins.
hiding my big head so you guys
For
can
our
kind of see
four-person crew
the
as they
telemetry
continue
right
their
here.
journey now 6 minutes
Actually, you
and
know what?
12
Let me see
seconds
if I
after
can
liftoff.
figure a way to move my head without
Trajectory still nominal.
in studio mode without kind of screwing up. Hang on a second.
And Leah, you can see on the indicator altitude 201 kilometers.
That might work. Let's try
We're
it
now
out.
beginning to essentially level out and pick up velocity to get us into low Earth orbit. We're a little under 1 minute from the ignition for the entry burn on first stage.
Almost.
And we're about 2 minutes away.
Dragon SpaceX. Trajectory nominal.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
Great news. Now 7 minutes after launch. Second stage engine continues to burn. Everything looking good. And we'll see that continue to burn for another 1 minute and about 38 seconds.
Right now on stage 2,
A little better.
crew's getting about
I'm doing okay, Louis. How you
more
doing?
than 2.5 G's of acceleration. First stage preparing
Rocket
to
Ship
ignite.
Simulator will be fun,
For the
says
entry
Vic.
burn.
They have that, Vic. It's a Kerbal Space Program. That is, from what I understand, one of the most realistic rocket physics.
And we've got
sims that
ignition
you
of the
can
entry
play.
burn, center engine, followed by the other 2 restart engines. First stage now getting ready to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. This is about a 29-second burn, and it's designed to slow the vehicle way down. We're going to shed about 70% of the velocity of that dropping first stage by the time... this
20,000
landing burn
kilometers per
completes.
hour. Look at that, man. Almost
I should say by the
21,000 now.
time
Still
the entry burn
accelerating, too.
completes, which is now over. First
God.
stage on target for the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, we're watching second stage.
Sorry, Jisoo, you said how long is International Space
That's right.
Station?
We've got about 30 seconds.
What do you
to go.
mean? How long? Vic says, when I was young, I really
Just about
loved
20
space. Yeah, me
seconds
too,
more of
Vic. I still
stage 2
do.
continuing to burn until we see second stage engine cut off or SECO. We'll coast for a few minutes afterward to allow the rates in motion to...
Shannon.
And there's that call for Shannon. That's Shannon, Ireland, an abort zone, but it looks like we continue smoothly to orbit today.
MVAC shut down.
All right, main engine shut down.
And we've got shutdown of the second stage engine on time.
I think they're in good shape.
Dragon SpaceX. Nominal orbit insertion.
So
Launch escape system is disarmed.
the other thing is, I don't know how long it's going to take for the boosters to land back on Earth. Normally, they'll show you the landing live. That's pretty. Matter of fact, here's one of the barges. Or is it?
As we mentioned,
No, that's the
stage
spacecraft.
2.
Never mind. Sorry.
Looks like some action on stage 1.
Normally, we can see the boosters land, and that's pretty cool. That's one thing they never did in previous space programs.
And I believe
Reusable
we've had a
components.
touchdown on the drone
And
ship.
oh, there it is. That is the barge. I was right.
Has touchdown on
Oh,
the
it's
drone
because it
ship
was dark, we didn't
in
really
the
get to see
Atlantic
it
Ocean.
land.
But
But normally you can see them descend through the atmosphere and then land on the barge. That's a barge floating at sea.
And we're getting ready for a next
And they just
major
land
activity,
themselves,
which will be
which is
Dragon spacecraft
completely
separation.
cool. I've never seen a booster land. Yeah, when they did it,
Currently on
the
the
launch
second
in
stage,
July,
we are
it was in the
essentially
daytime,
mixing
so you could
pressure,
actually see
purging
the boosters
engine
come
out,
down,
making
at a
sure
long
everything is
distance
full,
camera, and then
and
land.
preparation
just like old-fashioned science fiction movies where they just land like rockets, standing up like that. Totally cool that they do that.
In low Earth orbit, still attached to that second stage.
Okay, cool. I was wondering when we were going to actually get to see the crew.
Stage separate, and Crew Dragon will be flying free.
Yeah, so this is a crew of 4. It's a much roomier space capsule than, the Apollo capsules or Gemini or Mercury capsules. I think it can hold up to 7 people. But right now it's a crew of 4 on this mission. The one over the summer, it was a crew of 2. That's some insane tech. Yeah, that's robotics, right? I mean, really, the boosters landed themselves. That's robotics, really. Nice, yeah.
Plus 11 minutes since
I don't know, man. Stuff like this gives me goosebumps, man. I love stuff like this, man. And at this point, I'm just praying for their safety.
Shannon Walker, Victor Glover, Mike Hopkins, and Soichi Noguchi now on their way to the International Space Station. First trip to space for Victor Glover.
Signal Newfoundland.
So one of the crew members here, I forget his name. He's the Japanese astronaut, I believe. I think it's him. One of the crew members. This will be the 3rd different spacecraft that he's flown on. So he flew on, if I remember correctly, the shuttle. He flew on the Soyuz capsule, and now he's flying on the Dragon. And hello, Theron. Good evening. How you doing? And that makes him the 3rd astronaut in NASA history to fly on 3 different spacecraft.
And separation confirmed.
Only the 3rd, which is amazing.
Departing, Crew Dragon leaving it behind.
Separation confirmed.
Now 12 minutes.
Is this Amzi says bald? Yeah, this is Amzi 2020.
On the nose cone and reveal those forward thrusters.
Hannah says, I look forward to seeing what space travel is like in 30 to 40 years. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be around here to see it in 40 years. Maybe 30 if I'm really, really lucky. But I guess you never know. So yeah, we saw the booster land, but I guess the landing area was dark, so we only saw it pretty much after it touched down. We didn't really get to see it descend.
Upon re-entry into Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, sorry, Jisoo. The other part of your question, you said from launch pad to the space station, meaning days or kilometers. I don't know the specific distance myself, but they will dock at the space station, I believe.
And SpaceX, this is Dragon. We copy all.
It's a matter of hours. It's not days. I think they'll be there tonight, I believe.
Confirmation from teams on the ground and the crew. You can see them monitoring.
I might be wrong. I'm not sure. Oh, check it out. You can see their displays.
The International Space Station and where they are in the world right now, or over the world, I should say.
So they have a glass cockpit, pretty much. Just touchscreens running all their stuff. Very, 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 very different from what they had in the shuttle. Very futuristic looking.
In 14 minutes, 25 seconds since it was a great liftoff, everything happened. We had a nominal insertion.
Nominal.
In the low Earth orbit, you saw Dragon separate. We got the Draco checkouts were good. And right now we're hearing the nose cone hooks are opening up. Everything is happening.
Jisoo, you could probably answer your question if this display was a little higher resolution, right? I mean, their ETA and all their navigation data is right here.
At Kennedy Space Center. Marie, how was that launch for you all there on the ground?
Oh my gosh, John, it just took our breath away. I mean, we could just turn
Very cool.
around in our seats and watch.
Look at those
we
iPads.
got away from the desk to get a better look And then we actually could see
I'm
the
pretty sure those
booster,
displays
coming
cost a
back
hell of a
down.
lot more than
That was
iPads.
outstanding.
Vic.
Outstanding. And I don't even know what to say. High five. We're like
High
five
fives.
here.
High fives, guys. They did it.
My husband texted me a picture of my daughter watching liftoff. It
Yeah, I
was
mean, at this
just
point, they're through the
emotional.
most dangerous part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty much just coasting to the space
How
station
often
from
does
here.
that happen
As it
in a
should.
space flight?
I mean, the main engine's been cut off,
you
and
know, it's been a long day, but just to be able
yeah,
to
just that
stand
early
there and
part of the
actually
launch, that's the most
feel
dangerous
the
part,
rocket
the most
pounding
perilous
in
part.
The air around you was just, it was just incredible. And then looking
Very
at the
cool.
light too long, I couldn't see the MVAC ignition, so I still have spots in my
Oh,
eyes.
man.
And then the views inside the
I'm glad,
the
man.
capsule too.
A little bit of national pride over here, you know, Americans, because we were grounded for so long. It's like our astronauts basically had hitch rides with the Russians on Soyuz capsules for years, you know, after the shuttle
So he's
was
officially on
retired.
his way on his first space flight.
So
Scott says, be back later. Okay, Scott. Vic says, at least there's no power outage during the launch.
Tomorrow, Monday, November 16th, around 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to stay live on air for continuous live coverage along their entire ride to station.
Is that
Though
when
our
they're going to
coverage
land?
here
Okay,
at
so
Kennedy
that
Space
answers your
Center
question,
will
Jisoo.
conclude.
It sounds
We're
like
gonna turn it over
tomorrow,
to the
11
teams in
p.m.
Hawthorne and Houston to take us through the next phases of the Crew-1 mission, all the way through hatch opening and a welcome ceremony for the crew. Now, for those of you watching online via YouTube, take a look at the description below the video. There you'll find the new link for our Crew-1 rendezvous phase, and we'll be continuing live coverage at that new location shortly. But if you're watching on NASA TV, like my parents, you won't notice a thing, and your coverage will continue.
That's
Hey,
right. And
she
as
does
you follow
Twitch. We're
along,
watching on
we also
Twitch.
invite you to tune into a post-launch news conference at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NASA TV, where NASA and SpaceX will take questions
Jisoo
live.
says, can you imagine
And
flying
in addition
everywhere
to NASA
around the
TV,
world
of
in
course,
minutes?
you can always
Yes.
follow along on Twitter at NASA.
Yeah, because when they're at
NASA.gov for
orbital,
continuous mission updates.
you know, velocity or
We
whatever, I
thank you all
mean,
so much for
they
watching, to all of our commentators.
they circle. I mean, even the
Nicole,
space
special thanks
station.
to
The
you.
space
My pleasure,
station
ladies.
circles the Earth like,
Oh, please, yes. Well, we'd love to have you back.
I don't know, what is it, something like 14
Here now
times
are
a
some
day?
highlights
Something
from
like
the
that?
incredible journey that's just begun.
She only said Twitch and NASA.
Inside
You
the
meant,
suit-up room.
oh, she only said YouTube and
Dragon
NASA,
Commander
yeah.
Mike Hopkins was born in Lebanon, Missouri.
Pilot Victor Glover is a
Oh, here's the
native
crew.
of Pomona, California.
And mission specialist Shannon Walker is from Houston, Texas.
Mission specialist Soichi Noguchi is from Yokohama, Kanagawa, Japan.
That's the guy.
And here they come, walking down the
I
hall.
think it's him. I think this is the third spacecraft he's flown
They're
on.
looking for people. They're
You guys can
looking
look at
for
NASA's
people that
website for their
follow along
bios
the
and
way,
double
too.
check that information. I
Launch
know
day
it's one of these four. And the only other people who flew
Here
on
they
3
come.
different
The Crew-1
spacecraft were.
astronauts now beginning their journey to the launch pad ahead of this
It was one of the
International Space Station.
one of the Mercury astronauts, because he flew on Mercury, Gemini,
On schedule.
and Apollo. And I'm blanking right now. I knew their names off the top of my head, but I'm just
Be along
blanking
with
right
the
now.
crew every step of the way.
And then there was also
It's kinda
one of the
like
other
a
astronauts
flight,
who
right?
flew on
You walk around your
Apollo,
vehicle before you get in and fly.
the shuttle,
I love this shot.
and
when this was being designed, it was definitely a
maybe Soyuz, I
forward-thinking
think?
design.
So yeah, it's only
And you
been
can
3
see
astronauts that have
on
flown on
your
3 different
screen the crew
spacecraft.
beginning the ingress process already.
They are checking to make sure the suits are ready. They're helping them connect the umbilicals. They're buckling them in.
And Dragon SpaceX hatch is closed.
Interesting. They all wear different numbers, like athletes on a team.
And resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all.
Very cool. All right, so let me see. Is there any more information on their page?
That's the word we want to hear. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Yeah, not much more here. But yeah, go to nasa.gov. I'm sure you get a lot more about the mission.